Everyone, this video is going to be a raw video that I'll upload on my channel. No edits, no nothing, no cuts. So let me tell you the truth of learning English. Let me state the very truth that you need to hear before you start learning this language. And this video is going to be for all the people out there who once wanted to speak English fluently, wanted to learn this language, but for some reason they never became able to speak this language fluently. It's not that they didn't try, they tried and they tried hard, but for some reason, as I told you, they never became able to speak this language. And now they accepted the fact that they can't speak this language. They accepted the false belief that they can't speak this language fluently. But let me tell you that it's not about you, so don't make it personal. It's all about the efforts that you are going to put into learning this language. It's all about practice. Don't make it personal, and don't think there's something wrong with your mind. There's nothing wrong with your mind. It's all about efforts. So yes, in this video I am going to share with you my personal story of learning this language. I am going to share with you my real journey of learning this language. I am going to share with you my English fluency journey in general. So let's get started and talk about how I learned this language from zero. So first of all, let me tell you that I come from a Hindi medium background. I didn't come from an English medium background. So I didn't have that privilege to be around all those people who spoke this language actually. No, I grew up in a family where no one spoke this language. No one in my family, no one speaks in English. In my entire village, no one speaks in English. Means no one. So let me tell you how I learned this language from zero. So I wanted to speak this language fluently. I wanted to learn English intensely. And the reason, let me tell you, there was the biggest reason that, there was a biggest reason behind me learning this language. I wanted to do freelancing. I wanted to do businesses with foreign clients. And the way I am going to deal with all those people who spoke English is when I become a fluent speaker. So that is what always motivated me to learn this language, and I always kept improving my English. So yes, and to this day I improve my English. I talk to ChatGPT on a daily basis. Okay, so yes, I wanted to do businesses with foreign clients, and that is the reason I always stay motivated. So now if you want to learn this language, I am going to tell you that find the reason, find your why. Find why do you want to learn this language, because when you are clear about your why, you are going to be motivated all the time. When it comes to learning English, you are going to stay motivated all the time. So make sure that you figure out what your why is, and that way you are also going to become very confident in the journey, and you are always going to stay in the process motivated. Okay, so yes, now my why was clear. So the biggest obstacle, one of the biggest obstacles that was coming in my way, was that I was from a very small village where I had no one whom I could practice this language. So what I did, I didn't understand, I couldn't understand where to start learning this language from. So I bought 2 grammar books, because that was the way out. That was the only way that I could learn to form sentences, because around me, my friends, my colleagues were doing the same thing. They also wanted to learn English, and they started with learning grammars, and the way they are learning grammar rules was from books. So I also bought 2 books of grammar, and then I started learning grammar rules. But for 1 month I learned, and then I got demotivated. I was not that intensely learning. I started very excited. You see how I'm stucking. So here I'll take a small pause. So what I did from there, I started with great excitement, but my level of excitement slowly drops, because I had nothing to, like, I have no one to guide me on how to learn this language. So the feeling of learning this language felt overwhelmed. So I was feeling very overwhelmed by the feeling that how I am going to learn this language, and on top of that, how I am going to speak this language fluently. So learning English at that point of time was like looking at the top of the mountain from the bottom of the mountain. So that was my journey, but I never gave up. Okay, I never gave up. And I again started learning this language. As I told you that my why was very clear. I wanted to speak this language fluently because I wanted to do businesses with foreign clients, and like my English language was a global language, so I needed to learn this language if I wanted to do whatever I wanted to do. So that was the problem. So what I did, I started learning grammar, and then in 6 months I learned a lot of grammar rules through which I could form sentences, and I started forming sentences, and I used to write sentences. I used to translate my thoughts into English, and I did this for 2 years. Let me tell you that I did this for 2 years. I started learning this language in 2021, and I kept doing it till 2023. And let me tell you that till 2023 I was not able to speak even a single sentence in this language. I could form sentences, I could translate anything into English, but when it came to speaking this language, I was not able to speak this language. Okay, so what I did after that, let me remember that. So I started watching YouTube videos on how to speak English fluently. Till that point of time, I knew how to form sentences in English, how to translate English language. So some people say that speak this language no matter if you are making mistakes in the journey, like that's the way of learning English. So make mistakes and learn English, make mistakes and don't worry about making mistakes, because that's the way of learning. But I didn't accept that fact, and I wanted to be perfectionist, means I wanted to be perfect at my English, but I didn't know. So I started reading books. Okay, and I started reading books, and I came across with a lot of self-help books that actually taught me about our mind, how our mind works. And with the help of that knowledge, I started implementing those lessons on my learning journey. Okay, and that's the way I got started with learning, and I started speaking this language, and I started with broken English. It's not that I started with the way I'm speaking right now. No, I was not able to speak even a single sentence. I swear to God, I can't articulate my thoughts very well in this language. Even now I struggle to speak this language, as you are able to notice. Okay, so even now I sometimes hesitate while speaking this language. So it's not about you, so don't make it personal. And the reason I am hesitating sometimes, because it signals that I need to do more practices, that I need to put in the efforts more. So it's not about you again. Okay, so yes, I started with broken English and I kept practicing, and I remember that I used to speak to myself in this language even if I was alone. I had no one around me, and some people pointed out to my English that I was speaking imperfect English, that I was never going to speak this language fluently. But I never listened to those people. I never listened to those criticism. Yes, I listened to some of the people who were giving me constructive feedback, but I avoided all the people's opinions who were trying to put me down. So yes, I just kept learning. I never listened to anyone. I spoke. I made a lot of mistakes, like countless mistakes. I have made more mistakes that I could ever count. So yes, this was the way I learned this language from 2023 to 2025. These were the 2 years when I focused more on speaking. Like I was practicing this language almost every single day. I talked to ChatGPT, like ChatGPT was there to practice, so I talked to ChatGPT almost every single day, and that is how I improved my English every single day. Even now I don't have anyone with me whom I can practice English with, but I didn't make excuses. Like, my why was clear. I wanted to speak English fluently, and the more books I read, the more knowledgeable I got. Like, my mind expands, my perspective broadens, and that's how I kept going. And now, like, I have read more than 300 books on self-help, on self-help books on money, on psychology, on business. And now I don't read books to learn English, but like, I don't, my intention has been changed. My intention has changed. Now I read books to gain knowledge. It's not about the way used to be in 2021, 2023. That time, like, back then, I used to read. You are seeing I am hesitating, I am feeling nervous right now, but I'll take pause. So back then in 2023, I used to read books for English learning, but now my intention has changed. Now my intention is to gain knowledge, and that way I am learning English in the process. Okay, so yes, so I never gave up. So you can take 3 takeaways from this video. The first takeaway is never give up. So it's hard to accept the fact that it takes effort on a daily basis, that you should try speaking this language. Even if you make mistakes, that's the way of learning this language. And, like, no matter what language you are trying to learn, it takes effort, it takes consistency. And the second thing that I will advise is stay consistent. Like, staying consistent is what is going to get you the results you want. Like, I would never have become this fluent if I wouldn't have been consistent enough. So yes, make sure that you are consistent while you are learning this language. Many people try for 6 months and they accept, like, many people, like most people, I think most people try only for 6 months and they wanted to become a fluent speaker. They want to speak this language perfectly, but that is not how it works. You need to put in the efforts until you become a fluent speaker. Time is anyway going to pass, so you have to make sure that you are learning something new every single day around English. I mean, you are learning new words every single day. You are learning new phrases every single day that you can use in your day-to-day life. So yes, I'll say. And the third thing I would advise you to do is listen to this language as much as you possible, as much as you could. I think I am becoming nervous. Okay, so yes, and speak this language as much as you can, because that's how you are going to speak this language fluently. So I didn't cut this video, I didn't do any edits on this video. This is a raw video. So yes, this is how you are going to become a fluent speaker in this language.